Hey guys, this is Stephanie. It is Saturday, July 16th, 2011, and it has been a very long time since I've vlogged. I think I've only vlogged one time this round, um, once or twice, just explaining, that I was doing another round. So I have had so many stresses in my life, I cannot even tell you. The things that I've been going through are very personal, and it's just been really, really hard. Um, so just to get back on the HCG track, I just wanted to share with you, what's been going on with my weight and where I'm at right now. I started my round with Ovidac on May 21st. I weighed in at 160.6. I loaded for 3 days. And on my first VLCD, I weighed an even 167. Now, through that time, I went through a lot of stress in my personal life, and I think it did have a little bit of an impact on how fast I was losing weight. But then I went through some problems with the Ovidac. I I had weight fluctuations pretty early on where, I mean, by day 20, I was kind of fluctuating. I'd gain and then I'd stay the same, and then I'd gain the third day, and then I would lose. And in my weight, just looking at my weight chart, it just kind of went up and down like crazy. Well, during that same time period, I had some issues with really, really intense cravings. Now, during this time, I also mixed a new batch, um, because I bought 2,000 unit vials. I never tested my batches because with the 2,000 unit vials, I didn't have very much room for testing and then having enough left. So I just kind of experimented when I started getting weight fluctuations, and then I started having very, 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 very intense cravings. To the point that if I knew there were potato chips in the house, I would want those potato chips. I mean, it was crazy. I've never been through anything like that before while being on HCG. I've used homeopathic drops, I've used Corian brand HCG, and then, the last few rounds that I did, and coincidentally, they were failed rounds, I used Ovidac. And so I've come to the conclusion through all this that the Ovidac is what caused me to fail my round. I'm not saying Ovidac is bad. I had a friend that used two of my vials and she seemed to do just fine. But for whatever reason, either it didn't work for me, it just wasn't for me. Who knows? But I had very, very intense cravings for potato chips, plain salty potato chips, and I just desired to have the salt. It was like super intense salt craving. I don't even know how to explain it other than I wanted to lick the salt off the chips. So that was driving me crazy. So my sister-in-law was finishing up her round on the homeopathic drops that we've used, that I used on my first round, and then she's continued to use through her rounds. And I asked her if she had any left, if she'd give them to me so that I could switch over right away from the shots, of the Ovidac to the drops while I'm ordering more drops. And so she gave me the rest of her bottle. And I can tell you, I made it through the injections. I was really, really fighting. I mean, I wanted it to work. And even with the injections, they say when you're hungry, um, you're supposed to test out your HCG and make sure that it tests positive for pregnancy. Of course, I didn't do that. I should have done it, but I really wanted to try to hang on to whatever HCG that I had left. And I had mixed the HCG a total of 3 different vials of it. Like I said, my friend had the same batch. I gave her two vials of my Ovidac from the same lot, and she didn't have any problems. So, I've come to the conclusion that my body didn't like Ovidac, maybe. I don't know. So anyway, I fought and fought and fought, and I even tried to adjust the amount of HCG. I started out, 125 units, I went to 150, I went to 175, and then I went to 200 units. Nothing I did worked, so I just finally gave up and switched to the drops. So from day one until the first day that I took the drops was day 37. Well, day 37 was the last day that I injected for injections. And by that time, and I had gained back. I had 3 gains in a row, and I was doing everything right. So by that time, I had only lost 12.6 pounds in 38 days of injections. I even skipped an injection every week. I was doing what I could, and of course having the intense cravings just drove me insane. And so I did cheat a lot, but when I followed it even several days in a row, I was having issues. And like I said, I have been through failed rounds. I've been through 2 very successful rounds, and I've never experienced anything like it. The cravings were so intense, I don't even know what to say about it. So by 37 days, by day 38, I was only down 12.6 pounds, and 6.5 pounds of that was loading. So I basically lost 6 pounds of true weight in 38 days, which is just ridiculous to me because I know HCG works, and I would average 0.45 to half a pound a day by the end of my rounds. And I did 2 very long rounds in the past where I lost 26 pounds in 60 days or something like that. So I'm typically a little bit slower at losing, but not that slow. I mean, it was ridiculous. So I switched over on day 38. I did kind of a mini reload. I can't say I just went crazy, but I just kind of ate a lot of junk. And the very first day that I did the drops, I didn't gain any weight the next day. So, when I started, it was June 30th when I reloaded using drops, and I weighed 154.4. Like I said, that was only 6 pounds from when I started loading with injections. So I've done well since then. On most days I've lost. I've had some zeros. I've had some minor point 0.4 gains, but then the next day I take off at least that. And the 3 times I put on a point 0.4, 2 of the times I lost double or triple that the next day, and then once I gained point 0.4 and then lost point 0.4, so I pretty much stayed the same for 2 days. So today is technically VLCD 54 if you include all of the work I did while I was injecting. And like I said, I cheated a lot. But for the drops, it is basically day 16 of the drops. And since I started the drops, I went from 154.4 to 148. So basically, in a matter of 15, no, this is day, yeah, 15 days, I've dropped 6.5 pounds in 15 days. So I'm a little under half a pound a day, but like I said with previous rounds, I've always been around 0.4 a day average by the time my round ends. So my losses picked up big time, compared to what they were before. Once I switched over to the drops, my losses picked up. So I'm very happy with that. Today I'm at 148 pounds even. My plan is I'm really pushing this round because I did a really, really long break, because a lot of times people, if they don't, I've done short breaks. I did really short 2-week break between round 1 and 2, and luckily I didn't have too much trouble losing. But I have had failed rounds, and like I said, I think it's because of the Ovidac does not like me. And but I think there is something that should be said for taking breaks and let your body adjust and everything. And between this round and the last failed round that I had, it was about 13 weeks. So I took a really, really long break. So that was definitely not an issue for why I was having problems this time with the Ovidac. So some people have problems with the different brands, and I've used Corian. I think I used Corian part of the very, very end of my first and the beginning of my second round or something like that. And I didn't really have any problems with Corian. But the Ovidac, I really, really struggled with it. So once I switched over to the drops, my cravings have disappeared completely. I mean, it's like night and day. So I'm really happy with that. I've lost a total since May 21st. I've lost a total of 19 pounds, 6.5 of that loading. So I'm down a total of 12.5 pounds since starting this round. Like I said, it's really hard to say, am I truly on day 54? No, not really, because of how many times I probably, cheated when I was struggling to really fight with that Ovidac. So day 16 of the drops, um, down 6.4 pounds since starting the drops. My goal for this round, and people who watch me, I always change my goals. I really, really want to get to 138 because I figured that 2 extra pound leeway is right at 140. So my goal for the rest of this round is to get to 138. That's 10 pounds. I'm pulling out every magic trick I can think of. I'm doing fat fast days right now. I did a fat fast yesterday. It didn't quite work well for me. It seems like when I've tried to do fat fast days, if I eat cream cheese, the cream cheese, I don't know if there's something that I'm allergic to in it or it clogs my system, but I don't get very good losses. And yesterday I ate just 3 ounces of cream cheese. I did the egg with cream sauce, which was mixed one boiled egg and then cream sauce. I mixed a tablespoon of cream and an ounce of cream cheese, and I did that 3 times yesterday as part of my fat fast day. So I had a total of 3 ounces of cream cheese, but it didn't like me, and I dropped zero point 0.2 today. And I've been dropping the last 2 days before that. I've actually dropped 0.4s on the regular VLCD, and there's no reason. I wasn't in a stall or anything to do fat fast, but I just really trying very hard to lose another 10 pounds. So when I stepped on the scale this morning, I was very disappointed to find out I had only lost a 0.2. So I did another fat fast today, and I ate 2 eggs and whipped up a half a cup of whipping cream this morning for lunch, and then I did the same. Well, for dinner I was going to have 2 eggs, and I changed my mind. I had bacon instead. I had 4 pieces of farmland bacon from Walmart, and then a half a cup of whipped cream. My calories were exactly 1,100 calories, and the fat fast is 1,000 to 1,200 calories. And my fat ratio was 85% fat. So we'll see what that does. Drink 3 liters of water today. Really, like I said, there's no reason why I'm doing it. Ms. HCG Girl told me that people have been doing it on VLCD, like they'll alternate, and they're having a lot of success. So I thought I would try that because I have been on VLCD for a long time, switching over from injections to homeopathic, and anything I can do to kind of speed up the process so I can finish up this round is is a positive thing. So I appreciate any of you guys that watch me. I'm sorry I haven't vlogged in a while. I haven't gotten to watch YouTube videos in a while. My life has been so stressful. There's only a few people here that know the things that I've been through lately, and it's just been really, really, really difficult on me to the point where I'm sure, my slower losses are probably because of that. So I just wanted to get a vlog in and let you guys know I'm still here. I'm still on VLCD. I'm not playing any tennis right now. Last year I played tennis. At this time last year I was 170 something pounds, and I played tennis with my son. And it was hard because, it was hot outside and I felt kind of weak. And I just didn't want to do that to myself this year. So I'm not playing tennis right now, summer tennis, like I usually do. I just kind of took a break trying to get my weight down before I start tennis back up in the fall. And that's all I'm doing. My daughter has started the diet a few days ago. She came and asked me. She wanted to lose a little bit of weight. So I looked up for her age and her height and everything, where she should be to be at the normal end. And she has a little bit higher goal than the high end of normal, which is fine. And so far, she's doing really good. She is on VLCD 4 today. And so in 3 days, she has lost um, about 4.5 pounds already. So she's doing really good. And I think it's a great thing to be able to help her and teach her how to do these things while she's younger. She's 14. And I think it's great. And she's doing the drops. And I'm helping her out. She has a little bit extra leeway since she's young. I'm letting her use side items, a very low sugar ketchup, a fat-free mayonnaise, just little things like that. She's eaten the chocolate delight, and I think she's enjoying it. She plays basketball and she does some practicing on Thursdays and Fridays. So the last 2 days I've had her eat extra meat, and she's still losing. So she's doing good. I'm doing good. I can't guarantee right now that I'll vlog. Last time I said, oh, I'll try to vlog as much as I can once a week, and then it didn't happen. But just know that if I'm not there, it's life. It's really about life's stressful situations for me, and a lot of things that I've been going through. So I just wanted to get this in and tell you guys I appreciate everyone and just let you know how I was doing. So I guess I will let you go and I'll talk to you guys later.